Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. In this session, we will see white box testing. White box testing is also known as a glass box testing, and in which we will see in detail the internal structure of the program. It uses the control structure part of component level design to derive the test cases. These test cases guarantee that all independent paths within a module have been exercised at least once. It exercises all logical decisions on their true and false side. We have to check both the sides. What if the condition is true? What if the condition is false? So both the paths we have to check. It executes all loops at their boundaries and within their operational bound. It means, say, if I write a for loop, say for I is equal to 0 to 10, then I have to test what happened in a boundary, like what happened if I enter 0, what happened if I enter 10, and 1 within a value that is from 1 to 9. It exercises internal data structures to ensure their validity. So here in white box testing, the test cases guarantees this independent path we will check at least once. Logical decisions we check for true and false both the side. All the loops are checked for its boundary and within their operational bound, and we exercise the internal data structure to ensure the validity. So in basic path testing, in white box testing technique proposed by Tom Metcalfe, it enables the test case designer to derive a logical complexity measure of a procedural design. We have already seen in a last session that how to find the complexity of the code. So it uses this measure as a guide for defining the test cases derived to exercise the basis sets are guaranteed to execute every statement in the program at least one time during testing. So let us understand flow graph notation. To find the basic path, we have to understand the flow graph notation. A circle in a graph represents a node, which stands for sequence of one or more procedural statements. It is like a flow chart, but we have a different notation in a flow graph. A node containing a simple condition expression is referred to as a predicate node. These nodes are considered as a conditional node or decision node where we have two possible choices, true and false. Each compound condition in a conditional expression containing one or more Boolean operators is represented by a separate predicate node. If we use in a conditional expression and or, then we have to consider it as a two separate conditional statement. A predicate node has two edges leading out from it, that is true and false. An edge or a link is an arrow representing flow of control in a specific direction. So first is a circle that represents a node, then we have a conditional expression, and then we have an edge or a link that is represented with the arrow. An edge must start with the terminate at a node and terminate at a node. An edge does not intersect or cross over another edges. Areas bounded by the set of edges and nodes are called regions, right? Closed area is called regions. When counting regions, include the area outside the graph as a region too. So here is a representation of a flow chart to flow graph. You just see over here, we will use to draw the flow graph that is circle only. But we have two circles. The simple statement are represented as a simple circle, while the conditional statement or decision statement are considered here or represent here as a bolded circle. So bolded circle means we have two possible choice. One is for true and one is for false. So this slide shows the representation of flow chart to the flow graph representation. Independent program path. So defined as a path through the program from the start node until the end node that introduce at least one new set of processing statement or a new condition is an independent program path. We have already seen in a previous session that how can we tell how many paths, distinct paths are there for a given code. For that, we have to first find the complexity, the cyclomatic complexity of the code. And what was there? There are two ways to find the cyclomatic complexity. The first is number of region plus 1. The another way to find the cyclomatic complexity is number of decision node plus 1 or number of predicted node plus 1. So here we must move along at least one edge that has not been traversed before by a previous path. What it means, we are trying to find the independent program path. It means no repetition is there. It should not be there that all the paths or nodes are the same. It should have at least one distinct node in the path. So basis set for flow graph on a previous slide. So this is the previous slide. So here we have how many cyclomatic what is the cyclomatic complexity of this code? Say R1, R2 and R3. These three are the enclosed area. Means we have three region plus 1. So here cyclomatic complexity is 4. Another way to find the cyclomatic complexity is the bolded circle, that is a predicate node or a decision node. How many decision nodes are there? Bolded circle 1, 2 and 3 plus 1. So total 4. So here the time cyclomatic complexity for this flow graph is 4. So 4 independent paths must be there for this code. So here path 1, that is 0, 0, 1 and directly we reach to 11. That is one path, 0, 1 and 11. Another path is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 1, 11. This way path 3 and path 4. The number of paths in the basis set is determined by the cyclomatic complexity. So it provides the quantitative measure. Whenever we have some number associated to something, we can say that it is a quantitative. For example, number of lines, say 1000. Number of error, 50. So this is what quantitative measure of a logical complexity of a program. It defines the number of independent paths in the basis set. It provides an upper bound for the number of tested. How many maximum tests should be possible? That must be conducted to ensure all statements have been executed at least once. It can be computed 3 ways. The number of regions plus 1. The another way is you have to count the ages. Here capital E, this capital E is ages, N is number of nodes. So E, capital E minus capital N plus 2, where E is the number of ages and N is the number of nodes in a graph. So V of G is nothing but the cyclomatic complexity P plus 1, where P is a predicate node in a flow graph. So results in the following equation for the example of flow graph. We have already seen that you have to calculate how many edges are there to draw your flow graph. You have to count the number of nodes and plus 2. So edges minus nodes plus 2 is equal to 4. Now deriving the basic set and test cases. So using the design or code as a foundation, draw the corresponding flow graph. You need a code to draw the flow graph. Basis on the flow chart also you can convert it to the flow graph. Determine the cyclomatic complexity, a resultant flow graph, and determine a basis set of linearly independent paths. Prepare test cases that will force execution of each path in the basis set. So this is a step how to derive the test cases. So first what we have to do, we have to first draw the flow graph from the code. Then we have to identify the cyclomatic complexity. Then we have to find the independent paths, and based on this path we have to write the test cases that will force execution of each path in the basis set. Now here is a second example. The code is given to you. Using this code you have to draw the flow graph. Okay, so the number 1, 2 is you can omit it. The third statement is the integer x is equal to 0. From that you can start. So here 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 is a condition. So he is a bolded circle. Then we have a go to D, if, right? So this way you have to first draw the flow graph. Now based on that you have to calculate what is the cyclomatic complexity. Without drawing the flow graph also you can identify. You have to just count how many predicate statements are there, condition statements are there, or you can say decision statements are there. Here 1 if, second if, third if. So 3 condition statements are there. So we can say that 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Cyclomatic complexity for this code is what? 4. So 4 independent paths there must exist, for which you have to write the test cases. A simple function to diagram and analysis. So here is an example exercise for you. You have to draw the flow graph from this code. So here we'll start with 3 and we stop at 21. Okay. So the third statement, fourth statement is a condition statement. So it is a bolded circle. Then in this if case, like 6. Now if contain AND operator, and here we have a compound decision statement. So this are considered as an individual statement. So here numbering is given as a 6 and 7. Make sure that don't make mistake to consider this compound condition as a single statement. In compound statement, the number of statements are considered as the number of condition we are tested. Okay, so here in a single if we have 2 condition, right? So we have to consider it as a 2 statement, 2 condition statement, 2 predicate statement. The same way on a statement number 12, else if. Here again we have a 2 condition with OR operator, right? So here we have to consider is a 12 and 13. Okay, so here we have a flow graph for the same. Right, so we have how many predicate nodes? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Total 5 conditions are there, predicate nodes are there. So the complexity is 5 plus 1, that is 6. The same thing you can get to count the bounded region, right? Edges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5 plus 1, that is 6. Using all the equation, you'll get the same cyclomatic complexity. Okay, so here 5 predicate nodes are there, 5 plus 1. The cyclomatic complexity is 6. So 6 independent paths must exist. So for 6 independent paths, we have to write at least 6 test cases to check each and every path at least once. Now second is a loop testing. Okay, so a white box testing technique that focuses exclusively on the validity of the loop construct. So 4 different classes of loop exist: simple loop, nested loop, concatenated loop and unstructured loop. So testing occurs by varying the loop boundary values. For example, here I value is set to initialize to 0. The condition is I is less than maximum index and I plus plus 1. So while current temp is greater than or equal to minimum temperature. So testing of a simple loop, how we can do? The first thing is skip the loop entirely. First we are not going to the loop. It means what? Sometimes it happens that the condition do not match. At that time we are not entering into the loop. Then what happened? That we have to check. So skip the loop entirely. Only 1 pass through the loop, right? Then 2 pass through the loop. This way M passes through the loop where N is less than N. N is the maximum condition and that is a termination condition from which we can come out from the loop. And last one is N minus 1 and N plus 1 passes through the loop. It means we are checking what happened if the lesser value of that boundary value and 1 more than. For example, my set N is set to say 5. So I have to check for N minus 1, 4. 5 and plus 1 value, that is 6. Okay, so these are the total 5 testing happens in a simple loops. So in next session we will see the nested loops, concatenated loops and unstructured loop, how we can test. Thank you as of now.